Hey there everyone, PhilChill here and welcome to my channel. Lately, I have been hooked on Core Keeper, trying to explore the world and get more and more into the story. So far in my playthrough, I have managed to get quite far into the game, beating the 3 first bosses and exploring beyond the wall separating the Outlands. But are you having troubles with some of the bosses that are needed in order to progress the story of the game? Well, look no further. Today I'll be showing you how you can defeat the Hive Mother the easy way by cheesing the boss fight, making it a breeze for you. But before we begin with the video, consider subscribing to my channel since it helps me out a lot, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like since it helps it out in the algorithm. The Hive Mother is one of the first bosses of the game, which is found in one of the bug-infested biomes, which is the clay one. It's found randomly and you can use a locator in order to scan the world to find out its location. To reach this boss, you would need an iron pickaxe with a combination of the buffs from the Ring of Stone and the Ring of Rock, in order to be able to destroy the lava walls, which are quite hard. The two rings are found randomly as you play, by destroying the dirt walls and stone walls. The Ring of Stone drops randomly from dirt walls, while the Ring of Rock drops randomly from stone walls. The two rings together give you a whopping 50 plus mining damage, which can help you destroy the walls with ease. Compared to the other bosses, you would find this one the last, since it's located furthest away from the last two, and you would need more equipment in order to reach it, as well as special equipment to handle the boss, which is upgraded weapons and armor. You can use some of the more better armor that you can craft or buy from the statues after you defeated one of the bosses, since it will help you in the fight by a lot. To pull out this trick, you will first need a few materials and tools. Starting out, you would need a tin workbench, which is the third workbench that you craft, and an iron workbench to craft the iron pickaxe which can destroy the lava walls with the help of the rings. For the tin workbench you would need around 15 tin bars and 6 copper, while for the iron ore you would need 10 tin bars and 20 iron bars, making it a bit harder to gather. Afterwards you can just craft the needed gear and then start looking for the Hive Mother, which you can do in two ways, either walking randomly until you find it, or by just using the locator you can buy from one of the statues. After you find the location of the Hive Mother, you can notice that it will have a bunch of guards and a unique room with a few roots from the ground that you can't remove with the pickaxe. And you should take note of this since they are important for the boss battle. You can first clear the whole room from the mobs, and then after you start the boss encounter, the boss will only attack with an air acid attack, which you can see where it will fall and you can promptly avoid it. But in addition to that attack, at every spot with the root that I mentioned, it will spawn a pod, which will grow with time and you will need to destroy it in order for it to stop spawning mobs. But if you fail to defeat it in time, it will spawn a bunch of red larvae and red larva grubs, which will chase you until they are well fed. But there is a really great tactic to defeat this boss easily, and that is by using the mighty and powerful spike trap. To be honest, the first try that I wanted to defeat the boss, I went full in, I didn't know anything. I was trying to kill the boss, kill the pods, but I didn't have time, and while fighting the boss, the room got overflowed with monsters that I couldn't handle, and I just got eaten by all of the bugs. When I respawned, as I was going out of my base, I noticed my failed trap that I made for auto farming materials. I noticed the spikes there and I got an idea. What if I just moved all of those spikes to the Hive Mother? That was for me one of the best ideas ever, since I just got all those spikes from there, crafted a bunch more and went to the Hive Mother. I placed all of the spikes on the ground around the Hive Mother after clearing out the room, and it's helpful since filling out the whole area around the Hive Mother makes it possible for you to move on the traps without them damaging you, which is really awesome for this fight, since the Hive Mother constantly spawns mobs which you have to defeat. The Hive Mother spawns pods from which the enemies spawn, which chase you until they eat you. And by spending time to destroy the pods one by one manually, you will spend a lot of time, and since the fight goes on, the pods will keep spawning and spawning with a faster interval, so it will become really impossible to defeat all of those. This is where the traps come into play. By placing them in the whole room where the boss is, you can make it so you are the only one able to walk there. You also notice that you can't place the spike traps on the roots, which at least will show you where the pods spawn. For this tactic, you won't need an astronomical amount of tin in order to make it work, since you just need enough to at least fill out the boss room with the needed flooring, and you're good to go. The good thing about this boss is that it doesn't aggro if you get near it, and it will aggro if you only attack it, which will allow you to fill up the room quite easily. Defeating the Hive Mother will give you the crystal needed for its statue at your base, and also a giant chest which you can store a lot of stuff in. For me personally, I think the chests are the real treasure the bosses have, since they offer so much space compared to the normal chests. Trying to craft all of those traps will need a lot of ore, which you will need to farm for a bit of time. One of my tips for farming this ore is just making a few small outposts towards the clay wall biome, and just put some furnaces down and smelt all the ore you find. Since at the start your pickaxe would need quite a while to break down the walls, the first few batches of ore you get, you should focus on upgrading the pickaxe, and weapons as well. This tip also works for the iron ore, so I hope it helps out. As I also mentioned, a great boost for the mining would be the 2 rings, which can increase your mining power as well, which will make farming the ore much more easier. But for that you would have to be really lucky in order to find them, I think, since they can be found in the dirt and stone walls. I wanted to ask all of you guys, so far what has been the most difficult boss for you and how long did you need in order to defeat it? For me, the most difficult boss was the larva boss, which was running around in circles around the map. I was quite lucky to think out a way to defeat it, which included a lot of wall breaking and bombing as well, but it turned out to be a great tactic. Also, this would be a really worthy thing to build, since every other time you respawn the Hive Mother, all of your traps will still be there and you can reuse them to farm her all the time. But everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you will find this video helpful, and I would like to hear your thoughts on it in the comment section below. Core Keeper for me, even in its early access, has been an amazing game, as I got hooked to it so much, so feel free to join me on my adventure on the Let's Play. I would also like to thank all of my supporters on Patreon for their continued support, which are Tattletale, Ian Duncan and Laurie Roop, as well as Melvin HD and Hip. Thank you for everything. If you enjoyed today's video, consider leaving a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel so you get notified of any future update. I also have a Discord channel where we chat and get together, so consider joining there as well. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe.